Yep, and his claim to great fortune is that he settled a dispute in Cambridge, Massachusetts, over somebody who'd been picked up by the police, and he said we can get this all sorted out by having a beer together.
And then the media's all, he had a Bud Light, the big corporate, kind of white trash beer. And I'm not saying Bud Light's, I mean, it really is bad beer in my opinion. But the point, Anheuser-Busch has got a few good products. But, the issue is it's all about the average guy beer, that he was drinking and the other guys. It's all just fluff crap.
Incidentally, Alex, do you know who Jackie Mason is?
Yes, To the Moon Without a Rocket.
Well, he's one of my favorite comics, and he just did a piece on Obama, and I've got the link.
Oh, no, that was Jackie Gleason. Yeah, no, I know who Jackie Mason is. He goes on Fox News, sure.
Yeah, and anyway, he's just made a tape about Mr. Obama, our president, and you'll see it tomorrow in my issue, the link, and he really takes him apart. He says Mr. Obama is a racist.
Well, I don't even know if Mr. Obama's a racist. He is a race pimp. He's a social engineer. He knows how to play everybody off against each other.
Anyway, it's entertaining.
Well, let's just take calls. I'm speechless here. Maggie in Arizona. Maggie, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Oh, hello. It's such a privilege to talk to you, Alex, and to you too, Mr. Chapman. What I'm asking about is, Alex, I understand I missed part of the show yesterday, unfortunately, and I understand that there was an email and a caller regarding possible confirmation, seeing something from the feds in regards to a bank holiday, calling for the late August undetermined links. I'm wondering if you might...
No, she was, and we did get the document. And we've gotten other similar documents and documents with hospital workers being told they have to take shots. And then a day after the guy told us that and gave us the document, it was actually in the news. So this was a bank that is in New Orleans, and they were saying, we're going to have these injections for you.
As I from another source, I heard they actually did get an email from someone who has a close friend in the banking industry, and she saw a notification stating that they would be closing undetermined links. The date will be determined late in August.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of banks themselves that are closing or being taken over, so there's a lot of those notices going out. But the establishment may have a bank holiday, but really they're just going to devalue the currency. But we have the expert on the line with us. Ma'am, I appreciate your call. Can you answer Maggie's question? We do know, and I did confirm this, the State Department has all its embassies moving mostly out of their cash reserves. They have millions per embassy in these vaults for different payoffs and different emergencies and other things, little CIA command bases. You remember that story a month ago or so about them dumping a lot of dollars and getting their local currency coming up for the fall. That more and more looks like for the flu, a global flu pandemic, in case they decide to go with that, or is that something else, Bob Chapman?
Well, I just interpreted it just a little while ago as being, and I said I backed into it, being that the dollar was going to fall and not be accepted as readily as they might like, and it probably will cause a crisis. And in an embassy, let's say in Munich, which is one of the ones that received this money, they galloped out and got rid of the dollars and bought euros. And that's so that they would have a stash there in the local currency that would be accepted, that they could continue to do the things that they have to do. That's my take on it.
Yes, ma'am, I wouldn't put anything past them. They're clearly moving on all fronts to bring in the New World Order agenda. They're in high gear. And so we have Department of Defense driving around in the parking lot and FBI visiting, and because the criminal takeover's happening and the banks are just totally raping the country. I mean, and they, let me tell you, I am a canary in the coal mine. If they come grab me for something, folks, you better just squeeze your butt cheeks together, because they're coming after you. I'm sorry. I'm out of control, folks. It's just that It's just that this is really going on. This is really happening. That's pretty funny, isn't it, Bob?
Yeah, it's not going to get better, and I think that's what you're trying to say. And so please, please, please prepare yourself mentally, physically, and get your food, your dehydrated, freeze-dried food into your filter, and make sure you get plenty of clips and ammo. It's probably going to come down to that. And I hate to have to say that, but there's no.
And they're like vampires. They look for any excuse to get you in their system, like you've done something. Oh, you had a hair sticking up. You had a crooked toenail. Life in prison.
Well, they are overreacting to crime, and when it's really not even crime. And here the people like you and I who talk about the truth. We're terrorists. We're bad people. And, of course, we're not.
Well, I did show the FBI a Ron Paul sticker in the parking lot. I said, look, DHS report, terrorist. And they kind of went, yeah. And they kind of smiled.
They should be ashamed of themselves. That's the way my mom would put it if she was still alive. Because she was so for law and order, so to speak. And she would be so disappointed to see how our country's law enforcement is degenerated. It's awful.
Take a few calls from Ronnie, Brian, Joel, Keebler, and others on the other side of this quick break. It is sick when me and Bob just start laughing, because I'm sitting here thinking about being drug off to prison, and I'm just laughing. It's so ridiculous.